Hello, this is Colin Dawson, here with another edition of Lockdown Movie Reviews. Just insane. It was actually an interesting experience going to Ghostbusters. My parents talked me into it. I gave up going to the gym. No offense, not going to do it again. Better to go and see the movie by myself and maybe get one of those that's not going to have that many people in it. And I can sit there with the tape recorder and make a note or something else because I think I can still take into handhelds. There have no video picture or anything else on it. But just insane. Um, Looking at it and going, Ghostbusters. It's in the middle of Oklahoma. The setting is, I think the startup of the movie is really good. It's really good. And you can't really see which one of the Ghostbusters it is. And that plays into it for quite a bit. And it leaves a mystery that's there that's really good. And that and other stuff with it is totally different than the Ghostbusters beforehand. And looking at it, I think that it is really, really. It's kind of like how they say J.J. Abrams. Once you get into it, about a third of the way through, you realize that it's got a similar plot to it. It's got a situation that is basically a good skeleton where there's Gozer, there's Zool in it, there's Sumerian conversation, and it's different. They don't have Slimer, they have a new one there. You've got a couple other ones out there with it, and it's an interesting situation. I will say with the acting, it's you couldn't have asked for better acting. In a way, some of the directing is absolutely wonderful with it. And the cinematography, with where it picks up in it and has the angles in it, I think it really does help out everything. I will say the child actors knock the socks off of in a way simply by their age. Some of the older, more seasoned actors, even though that they are at top notch areas, they almost in certain little ways of like peaking up and everything else, since it focuses so much on them, actually outshine the older actors. The older actors all have their moment and are just as good, but it is a complete shock to me that younger child actors, and I do hope that they do not get typecast. Even the ones that have basically minor, flat background roles really do put an effort into their background parts. They really do show themselves if it's just one or two little remarks and they're just there for like, whoa, did you see that? They really sell it. I will say the background supporting cast, down to the one or three liner extras, almost really do help in every part of it. Every single one of them does an excellent, fabulous, wonderful, awesome job. The two main characters play off of each other very well. They really do look like that they are kids that are really feeling every single thing of it and taking it into themselves. They move and do everything precisely the right way. The love interest of the older child, it's not anything that you would say is like bad or anything else. It's a very PG love interest, and it is absolutely sellable. It is absolutely usable. And there's even a time where in the jail cell, when they get put in, and I hate spoiling this, there's a scene there that you just go, it's seamlessly there, and it's really good acting, and it's a twist in it. That's one of these little twists you go, well, there's the end of that relationship. And it really does hit you. As far as like the script and the acting and everything, it is spot on. It is actually a really solid movie. And bringing in certain people, such as the older actors with the teacher and the mother of the two main characters. Paul Rudd plays one of them, and right now I can't remember the name of the other person, but it is absolutely excellent. They have standalone romantic situations that would be in any romantic comedy, as well as certain little nerdy quirks, and then the complete opposite, that an absence of science and everything. That is just absolutely wonderfully spot on. And I think that they actually went back and forth. And the only thing that I can see slightly is that each one of them, Paul Rudd and his counterpart, the mother of the two main characters, ups each time out there and trying to outact the other one. And they get kind of taken in, and it's like, oh, wait, it's still a movie. Minor things that, I mean, I had to sleep on it to actually think that I could even see something like that. And you can also see in the whole movie the way actors having no real thing to interact with. Nothing really there to interact with. I can't interact with a blue screen really, other than it's a blue screen. It's shown even with the older actors, such as the original Ghostbusters and the others that show up in there, that they have achieved a point that they can actually interact even better. If you thought that they were acting really good with like anything in the 80s, they have shown that they can actually mature and become a more qualified, more grandiose situation of a perfect actor interacting with the invisible ghosts and or blue screen entities, shall we say, for less of a spoiler. I think that it is a good moment, and I think that it does show therein of it. Now, do I like the Ghostbusters film? Personally, for me, I'm like, it's a 4 or 5 out of 10. Would I sit through it for entertainment with the family and everything? Yes. With everybody else, I know that they're going to be like, this is an 8 to even 10 movie. And honestly, with the acting and everything else, it should have some sort of consideration for a Best Picture or anything else out there with it. The only thing that I can say is that it doesn't really follow history completely. For someone who's into the Sumerian situation and going, they got that wrong back in, the 80s. And so it's just another compounded thing on it that I'm going, okay, it's for kids, Colin. You can't history it for the kids. And I'm going, that's why I give it such a low score. And, I had to sleep on it because I was like going, this is the ultimate thing in secondary tribalism, where you would take one or two things and change the main background part of it, and it echoes all the way back through. There's like 40 different cultures and books that this all comes from and everything else, and you can't change this. And it's kind of my science geek moment in it, and the girl pulls you in for the science geek stuff and really hammers it home. So she's already got me in there, the wonderful little actress there and everything. And I was like, I couldn't believe it, honestly, that, by the end of it, walking out around the area waiting on the parents to come out and everything else, and I was like, this is this is how they'll destroy the USA with false stories and secondary tribalism. But other than that, whenever you can get past some of the historical inaccuracies off of it and be like, they took like one or two things. It's like bald eagles, um, Samaria, Central America, the Aztecs. Yep, they have a flag down there. We're really down in the Pampas where they have the barbecues and everything else, the whole cows. They have a red, white, and yellow green flag. It's got stars all over it. Yeah, it doesn't have a big round thing like the Earth. Where'd you get that from? You play soccer too much. And they just kind of slapped it all together. It's true in a way, but I'm just the geek in me, and honestly, it is a fun movie. And there's that part where I'm just going. Comes from so far back that probably if you had a 4-year history degree, you could actually go out there and change things radically. But just insane. I do have to give it my personal just. I'll go 5 out of 10 stars, but for everything else with it, with how I do know people love the Ghostbusters, they do love everything, the acting, the CGI, the story behind it, um, the mystery in it, and everything else for it, and just going, people will just go there. They're not like me that know anything over it. It should have probably a 9.5 to a complete 10. And, I'll give it my 2 thumbs up, saying go see it with the kids, go get entertained. Don't get caught up too much in the history of it and everything else. And, maybe buy a copy of Tobin's Spirit Guide and have fun with the kids at the house whenever the toys come out here, after the Christmas rush. Have a wonderful day in Lockdown Movie Reviews.